Hello everyone, it worked. I was doing my Facebook Live a little while ago and my connection wasn't strong enough and it kept kicking me off. It was very frustrating, so I hope I stay on here. Also, apologies for the madhouse downstairs. The boys and Kayla are running around like lunatics with Paul and having a grand old time, so apologies if you can hear the screaming and the shouting. Um, Today I'm going to try and keep this live a little bit briefer and curtail my usual ramblings because I end up going off on a tangent and forget what point I was trying to make. So today I'm going to talk about how to make informed decisions. Informed decision making is a tool that is really beneficial for every stage of your parenting journey. So, from fertility treatments, choosing what fertility treatment you would like, choosing what care provider you would like to choose, choosing the type of birth you would like or interventions that you would like to have or not have, and then in parenting, making those decisions on what feels right for you as a parent. And I think that's a really important point in that what the right decision for one person would absolutely be the wrong decision for another person. And we're all individuals, and there's no one way to be pregnant or to birth or to parent. So we all have to navigate our own way and our own individual journey. And informed decision making is a great tool for that. So, when I talk to our clients about informed decision making, I will teach them the acronym BRAINS. And it sounds a bit funny, but if you remember, no matter what comes up, you will never know every possible outcome or every possible intervention that could possibly be thrown at you. But if you remember to use your brains, no matter what comes up, you can run through those questions and find out what feels right for you. So, what is BRAINS? B stands for benefits. So, ask your care provider, what are the benefits of this thing that's being offered to me? And that can be, as I said, in any aspect of your pregnancy, birth, or parenting. What are the risks? So, if you're weighing up the benefits and the risks, you're essentially weighing up the pros and the cons and deciding what feels right for you. Then you can ask A, the alternatives. So, are there any other alternatives available to me at this moment in time? What are my instincts or my gut instinct or intuition telling me? And I think that's a really, really strong thing to focus in on and listen to. We often are disconnected from that gut instinct, but if we can really clear our head of all the what we should do or what other people have done and focus in on what that gut instinct is telling us, it very rarely leads us astray. Then N is for nothing. So what happens if you do nothing for now and wait a few minutes? That can give you time to make a proper informed decision. Or perhaps you might wait a few hours and see what happens. So that will give you a good sense of how time sensitive this thing that's being offered to you is. If your care provider says to you, well, really, we can't wait for you to do nothing, we need to have this conversation now, you'll get a good sense that this is the decision that has to be made, and by you weighing up all those other things that you've gathered, you should hopefully be able to make that decision quickly. And the S at the end is smile. I think it's really important to have a really good relationship with your care provider, and there's no point causing aggravation in a situation when you're looking to your care provider for that information. So remember to smile and be friendly and open and let them know that you're not questioning their medical judgment. You just want to make sure that you're making the correct decision for you and your baby. So what I would say is that if you look at the decisions that you have made already in your life, if you have chosen an area to rent a home in, if you've bought a home, if you've bought a car, you would have weighed up the pros and cons of those options and decided what was right for you. So the same with your pregnancy and your labour and birth and your parenting. If you think, what is it that's important to me? And what things would I like to happen and what things would I like to avoid? you'll get a good sense before that happens of where you sit with that. And then you can use brain as your informed decision making tool to gather information if anything comes up that deviates away from that. So you can still stay aligned with what is right for you, but you adapt while still staying in control. And I think that's one of the biggest things with informed decision making. It's not having any one outcome with your labour and birth, with your pregnancy, with your parenting, whatever aspect of your journey you're in. It's about feeling in control, and every decision that's being made is being made by you with all of the information that you need in order to make that decision. In Ireland, everyone has the legal right to informed consent, but also the legal right to informed refusal. So that essentially means that you have been given all of the information that you need in order to make that informed decision, and then you can either give your consent or you can decline and give refusal for that thing. Sometimes parents don't often feel like what they are being offered is an offer. Sometimes it feels like it's a demand or something that you have to do. But absolutely, at every aspect, everything is being offered. So, for example, if a care provider said to a woman, let's hop up on the bed here and I'll release your waters and we'll move labour along, that mother can then use brain in order to decide if that's something that she would like to consent to and move ahead with, or to refuse and decline and wait a little while. So if she used brain in that situation, to give an example of how you use it, well, what are the benefits of releasing a woman's waters in labour? Well, it absolutely is shown that it can bring labour, move it along quicker. It can also be a thing that can induce labour if a mother's labour is needing to be induced. What are the risks? Well, sometimes babies don't like it very much, and their heart rate can drop, or sometimes they can do their first poo, which is meconium, within the waters. Very occasionally releasing the waters, especially if the baby's high, it can bring on cord prolapse. And that's when the cord comes down ahead of the baby, and the baby's body, head, or whatever presenting part can put pressure on the cord, which is a medical emergency. What are the alternatives? Well, the alternatives, depending on the situation, are you can wait for a little while before you decide. You can adapt upright, forward open positions to try and help baby move down and perhaps release the waters themselves. You could bounce on a ball to help baby move down and move labour along, or there are other induction options as well available to parents if that's what the reason for releasing the waters is. And then you're tapping into your gut instinct. What is that telling you? What's your intuition saying? Chatting to your partner or support person, what do they feel? What's their gut instinct saying? And then what happens if you do nothing? Is it a medical emergency, or could you wait for a little while and see, does the waters release all by themselves? And then, of course, we smile and we say, thank you so much for that offer, and thank you so much for all that information. And right now my decision is to either accept that offer and release the waters, or decline that offer and wait a little while. Being fully informed really helps parents' overall outlook to have a really positive experience. So it's not about having any one experience, it's about staying in control every step of the way. And using the BRAIN acronym can help you to gather that information no matter what situation comes up. So as I said, no one will ever know every possible thing that could crop up in labour and birth because it is unpredictable. But if you stop for a few moments and use the BRAINS acronym, or if your partner uses the BRAINS acronym, you can really gather that information and then decide what the right decision is for you. I've been watching the screen here and I haven't seen any questions come up for this, but I will pop on our main grid a little box that we had done up about brains that you can screenshot on your phone and have it there for when you're in labour, so yourself and your partner can work through it. It's also a really good thing to use in parenting. For instance, should I give an extra bottle, or am I breastfeeding enough, or um, should I comfort baby a little bit more or wind baby more, whatever it is. So use your brains. What are the benefits? What are the risks? What's my gut instinct telling me? What are the alternatives? What happens if I do nothing? So you can work through it for every single thing. And I have to say, it's a really, really great tool. I use it often in my life now, and my kids are much older. But it's a really great thing to sit down, weigh the pros and cons, and then decide what's right for you. I hope this video has been helpful, and you can let us know in feedback if you find these shorter ones better, or if you like my long ramblings on different topics. We're trying to play around a little bit and see what structure suits everyone better. I hope you all have a lovely day. The sunshine is glorious out there, and any questions, do pop us a DM, or you can email us on info@doulacare.ie. Thank you so much, guys. Have a lovely day.